Hello, trailblazers and trailblazing grandparents. This is Mrs. Bryant and Mrs. Schuler, and today our Grandparents' Day read aloud is How Full is Your Bucket? And we are going to talk all about being a bucket filler. So let's get started with our story. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away. You're too little." "I'm big. Stay back. You'll knock it over. I can be careful. Go play with your baby toys, Anna." Thwack! "Grandpa!" Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket?" Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking.
But the next morning, when Felix woke up, there was a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning, and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." Felix slipped, and choco wheat scattered across the floor. "Felix!" yelled his mom. "You should have used the stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip, and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha!" Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. "Drip. Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the choco wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it." Drip. "Psst, Felix. Psst." Drip. "Watch out, shrimp." Drip.
It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped that they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. B walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop? The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. And when Felix finally read the end, everybody clapped, even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all.
Drop. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. "Nice cow." "It's a dog." "Well, nice colors there, Felix." "Cool laser ant backpack, Felix." By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. "Let me help you." Drop, drop. "Here's your baseball. Catch. Thanks, dude." Drop, drop. "Hi, I'm Felix. First day?" "Yes, I'm Amir." Drop, drop. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded, but then he thought, Dogs might have an invisible bucket, too. Your doll will be okay, Anna, said Felix. Mom will fix her. Wah! Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks?
And so they did.
Wow, guys, what a great story. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, we are so lucky that we have a lot of grandparents here with us today who are bucket fillers and who have taught us all the right ways to help fill up those buckets of our friends around us. Right, Miss Bryant?
Right, Miss Schuler. And I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. Filling a bucket is something that we are going to really be working on as we start in our second 9 weeks of this school year. So grandparents and students, thanks for listening to our story. Thanks for grandparents for filling your Trailblazers buckets. When you fill their buckets, it helps them be the best kids they can be. And we hope that everyone has a legendary Grandparents' Day.